When you're worth billions, owning a Ferrari just isn't enough. To stand out as the richest of the rich and establish yourself as the top of the wealth pyramid, you need to slap Louis Vuitton emblems across every square inch of that Ferrari. That's exactly what one of our Dubai billionaire rich kids has done, and that's only the tip of the gold-infused iceberg. With money coming out of their ears, royal Dubai kids, as well as successors to unstoppable businessmen, are spending their parents' hard-earned cash like no tomorrow, and here's how. Dubai is a playground for the wealthy, a place where those with wallets fat enough can kick off their shoes in 7-star hotels with gold-blind Lambos and, yes, even invest in million-dollar camels. There is just no place on earth quite like it. They have the world's tallest skyscrapers and an endless list of out-of-this-world creations, like the man-made Palm Islands, the Museum of the Future, and Aladdin City, just to scratch at the surface. Make no mistake, Dubai is the wealthy UAE hub of the future that never ceases to amaze. And what do we associate with wealth? Gold isn't nicknamed the Seed of Gold for no reason. Aside from literally being able to withdraw gold bricks from street-side ATMs, Dubai is one of the most prosperous cities on earth. And the people there, specifically rich businessmen and their kids, aren't afraid to take some of the hard-earned cash and put it to work. It's not just fast cars and big houses over there. If you're at the top of the food chain, you want a palace. If you're in a position of power, you don't have just one private jet to fly around, but an entire fleet. Are you ready? Let's focus our attention on one particular rich Dubai youngster for a moment. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Rashid Saif Belhassa, aka Money Kicks. And with a moniker like that, well, you know, what do you expect? This Dubai rich kid who was up the eyeballs in their parents' money managed to secure over 1.6 million followers online by sharing a snapshot of his privileged life and his private zoo. And we don't use the term privilege lightly. Money Kicks house is one of the most expensive in the entire city and large enough to host Hug Farm, packed with exotic animals. We're talking Bengal tigers, white tigers, lions, giraffes, zebras, cheetahs, panthers, chimps, and more, with reports suggesting that there are 500 animals in total. Oh, and we can't forget the monkey named Paris Hilton. Can you imagine growing up with your own exotic private jungle in your backyard? That's unheard of. With property like that, Monkey Kicks has welcomed some of the world's famous celebrities for years. He has grown up with rich and famous. He has been able to create friendships with the likes of Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Sherry Khan, and Khloe Kardashian, all thanks of this wealth or his dad's wealth rater. But the jungle cats and celeb besties are just beginning. Enter the car collection. For most of us, a Ferrari is a vehicle of the ultimate class and a symbol that you've made you to big leagues. Monkey Kicks owns a stunning Ferrari F12 Berlinetta with a 6.3-liter V12 engine. Isn't that impressive enough? However, apparently a few $100,000 Ferrari just wasn't enough. He wanted to take it to the next level, so he combined one symbol of ultimate luxury with another by transforming the car with a Louis Vuitton and Supreme full-body wrap. Get this though, when MK bought the car back in 2017, he wasn't even old enough to drive it. Where does the rest of his father's money go? To shoes, for one. He owns a $1 million trainer collection, which includes a matching set of shoes and a bag to accompany a Louis Vuitton wrapped Ferrari. If he's not old enough to drive one car, he's certainly not old enough to drive two, and yet he also owns an easy-inspired Cadillac Scaled, worth $100,000. So, where does all the money come from? The short answer is Daddy. Monkey Kicks is the son of an extremely high-profile Emirate billionaire and entrepreneur, Saif Ahmad Belhassa. He's been named on the list of the world's 100 most powerful Arabs. Saif owns Dubai's largest swimming pool construction company, as well as a number of money makers across energy, transportation, trading, real estate, advertising, technology, and educational industries. Saif Ahmad Belhassa might be an extremely wealthy and successful businessman, but his success and his bank balance don't even come close to one particular Dubai family. We're talking, of course, about the royal family. with Dubai's ruling Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum leading the household. The Dubai royal family has almost $20 billion in cold hard cash, just sitting in the bank, just asking for one of the 30 royal children to spend it. Yeah, you heard it right. 30 kids from 6 wives. Anyway, with gold palaces, extravagant vacations, some of the world's largest super yachts and more cars than you would ever need. As you are about to see, the rich kids coming from the royal bloodline live quit the lavish, exuberant life. Of all the royal Dubai rich kids, there's one in particular who is known for the extravagance. That would be Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, also known as the Crown Prince of Dubai, or also more colloquially known as Faza. Why? Because that's his handle on Instagram, where he goes to flunk off his wildly expensive private jets, vacations, cars, and camels. That's right, camels. We'll get to that other stuff in a moment, but for now it's all about the camel. How much do you think it's a reasonable amount to buy a camel? Couple of thousand, perhaps? What if it was a really expensive one? Maybe 10 grand at most, right? Well, hold on to your humps, people, because Faza went ahead and bought one for a whopping $2.7 million. To rub salt into the wound, on that same day he bought another 11. Yeah, 11 more camels, and ended up spending close to $4.5 million bucks. If you ask us, that would pretty much be the definitions of excessive, although that price tag still doesn't come anywhere near his yachts. Faza called his watch Esmeralda, and it was bought for, oh boy, $70 million spread across its 252-foot deck. The yacht has enough room for Faza and 11 of his closest research friends to sleep, as well as dedicated areas for 24 crew members who cook, clean, steer, and just about answer to any other comment that the rich kid throws at them. Ordinarily, you would say that owning a 250+ foot yacht is a little excessive, but remember, these are rich kids of Dubai that we're talking about. Just like Faza decided to buy multiple camels, he also has the access to multiple yachts, sharing his brother's Mansur, who we'll touch on later, and the rest of the royal rich kids. Faza can take another behemoth of a yacht. The 532-foot-long Dubai out for a spin whenever he pleases, with space for 48 people to sleep in a room of a crew of 88. It's no wonder that we're looking at a $400 million price tag. Rounding out the yacht party is the 183-foot Quattroelli Shadow, plus the original Quattroelli. Each of these belong to Faza. Catching it goes another few $100 million. If we go from water to land, Faza's got a garage stuffed full of more expensive high-end supercars than you could ever imagine, when he's not driving his $200,000 Mercedes AMG SLS. Look out for him cruising through the desert highways in his luxury performance Mercedes G63 AMG. That one's only worth $150, and that's all the cars he owns. Nah, gotcha. He has also happily spent his family's money on a Ferrari LaFerrari worth $2.2 million, a Lamborghini Veneno worth $4.5 million, McLaren P1 which sells for $1.15 million, and a Bugatti Veyron which ranges from $1.7 million to $3 million. He's got a $300,000 Ferrari F12 and an Aston Martin 177 which goes for about $1.87 million. Did you know that Aston Martin doesn't really consider the 177 a car, but instead it calls it, get ready for this, an automotive art form. Oh, come on. While Faza does not own these next two cars, we couldn't help but mention the fact that the royal family boasts a Lamborghini and a Range Rover, each covered in solid gold. Alright, enough about the Crown Prince. While he's definitely the most out there and vocal of all the royal rich kids, he's not the only one who likes to spend bucks. Let's take a look at another of Dubai's billionaire rich kids, Faza's brother and another royal Mansur. Sure, Mansur has bought a few extremely big-ticket items like the 164-foot Beniti Yacht Code 8 for $15 million. But for him, the focus is more about travel and living every day to its fullest. And when you're worth that much can afford a level of luxury, you are bound to turn into a few celebrities from time to time. Take a look at his Instagram and you will quickly understand what we are talking about when we say living every day to its fullest. He has plugged on vacations all over the world. Here he is tearing up the steamed slopes of Courchevel in the French Alps, and here is getting some air on Mont Blanc. As you can tell, he doesn't mind some fresh powder from time to time. It doesn't even have to be snowboarding or skiing. Anything that gets the heart rate up, Mencher will happily spend on, like a bungee jump, sand biking, surfing or cruising around off-road in an epic dune buggy. But how does Mencher get you off these exotic destinations? Well, how else would a billionaire offspring traveling around? A private jet, of course. As part of his father's estate, Mencher can fly not one but two Boeing 747 BBJ. If you're not an aviation expert, the BBJ stands for a Boeing business jet, which means that it's huge. These planes alone can seat between 25 and 50 passengers in ultimate comfort, and are currently listed for between 28 and 310 million bucks. Meanwhile, here we are stuck in a cramped middle seat next to the lavatories. What do you think about these people? Tell us in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, this way you help our job a lot. Thanks for watching and see you later.